welcome to yet another episode of Cooking with T-Zac. Is it weird that I refer to myself in third person? It's just a hashtag, right? Okay. Awkward. Now, I've been cooking Indian food professionally only for about 6 years, so I'm still new to this. But when you talk about Indian cuisine, the first place your mind goes to is typically northwestern food or northern food. Food from Lucknow, Awadhi cuisine, and also to some extent food from the south. And over the last few years, thanks to a resurgence of like regional Indian cuisines, we've also seen like parts of say Kashmir, Karnataka, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Rajasthan all get some sort of recognition on restaurant menus. But one part of India which is still highly underrepresented is the Northeast. I've made a few trips with my Chef on the Road series to different states in the Northeast, and it's incredible. I mean, obviously, I was blown away by the food, the culture, the people are amazing, the markets are out of the world. But it was also upsetting because you don't see that food in the rest of the country, and many of those northeastern states are hardly acknowledged in the rest of the country. So today I thought, why not do a recipe from Northeast? And this is a recipe that I really love because it's really simple, but it's really simple to make, but the flavors are so complex. And this recipe it's called Do Neon. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And it's a Khasi recipe. If you're not familiar with the Khasis, they're one of the biggest tribes in Meghalaya. And like this recipe has all of about 7 or 8 or 9 ingredients. And I love this because black sesame is one of the key ingredients in this recipe, and you usually don't find black sesame used in a lot of Indian curries. Now we're making a chicken. It's essentially a Khasi black sesame chicken curry, but the original recipe is actually made with pork, and it's really good. I don't have access to pork right now, so I'm making it with chicken. But you can also substitute it with like mutton. If you're trying to make a vegetarian version, use something like vegetable that like have long cooking times. Typically, things like pumpkin work really well. You want to give it enough time for the flavors to really absorb. But yeah, so let's look at the ingredients. You have, of course, black sesame, a key ingredient, whole red chilies, bay leaf, green chili fresh, garlic, ginger, onions, mustard oil, and turmeric, and of course chicken. I'm using boneless chicken thigh, which is my favorite cut to use for curries. So yeah, let's start. Let's arrange and get these ingredients out of the way. Now the bay leaf and the chilies are going to be used later, actually half of the chilies. I'll leave that aside. First thing we're going to do is toast the sesame on a low flame because you don't want it to burn. So yeah, start on a cold pan and add the sesame in. So in Meghalaya you get, and most parts of the Northeast, you get a very different kind of black sesame. It's a lot more flavorful. This is the stuff I bought locally here in Mumbai, but it should do for now. Let's get these chilies deseeded quickly. The funny thing about toasting black sesame is that unlike other spices, it's hard to tell when it's done because it's already black and you can't see the color of the spice changing. So you need to really pay close attention to the smell. And when you start out, there's absolutely no smell because it's at room temperature, but as it toasts up, you'll see that you start to smell that toasty sesame aroma. So yeah, we have your chilies. I'm also gonna season the chicken ahead of time, pretty generously. So these chicken thighs are pretty much whole. What I'll do is I'm going to sear them a little later and then cut them up after it's seared. It's just easier to sear the chicken when it's in larger pieces. Okay, that's ready. Let's toast the sesame. Still not much of an aroma coming through. We're going to make a paste with ginger, garlic, green chili and a little bit of red chili that's soaked in hot water. So I should probably soak the red chili in hot water. I've got some water heating up in the microwave, and yes, sticking with true tradition, there's black sesame flying all over the place. Similar to mustard, it starts to splutter. Soak the chilies. The reason for pouring hot water over the red chilies is so that it kind of softens up a little bit, so it's easier to puree into a paste. And now you're getting the toasty smell of the black sesame. Turning off the flame. And then you want to let this cool down before you kind of turn it into a paste. You don't want the mixture heating up too much. I'll just empty this onto plate. And as you can see, it's smelling nice and toasty. Obviously you can't smell it. But you'll know. Just make sure you do it on a small flame, and you keep kind of paying attention to the aroma. You don't want it to burn, and it's hard to tell if black sesame is burnt. So now you make a paste with garlic, ginger, green chilies. I'm going to put the sesame in there. Okay, that's not very smart. And the soaked red chilies. Oh yeah. So I added a little bit of salt as well, and this should taste delicious by itself. Oh man. So the main component of your curry is ready, the black sesame paste. You don't want it like super smooth, you don't need to be smooth, but homogeneous. That's the consistency you want. Okay, the next step is to sear the chicken. This is not part of the traditional recipe, but I like to do it because it builds a lot of flavor. I tend to do this for a lot of chicken curry recipes because I don't like the flavor of the chicken that's kind of boiled in the curry. So yeah, you want to get your pan really hot and start with a generous amount of mustard oil. Yeah, everyone thinks that mustard oil is used only in West Bengal and Odisha, but there are parts of the northeast where it's used as well. And this recipe is a great example of how mustard oil, when used with chicken curry, can be like delicious. So get the oil almost smoking, and then start searing the chicken. You want to do it on high heat without overcrowding the pan, because you want to get like a little bit of a nice sear on it. I'm not sure if you can hear me through this. That should be good to go. Okay, so now we're coming on to the last part of the recipe. We have the paste ready, the chicken is seared. I've cut this up into smaller pieces as well. You don't need a tutorial in that. And yeah, we're going to start finishing the curry. So start on a low to medium flame. And that's the same pot that I used to sear the chicken, so it's got all that kind of browning of the chicken and those flavors and the fat going on down there. I'm going to slice the onions, and a good cheat here is to take off the core so that the onions slices separate once they've kind of been sliced. And then you don't need to slice them too thin. Slice ready. The oil with the chicken fat is getting hot. At this stage, let's add the whole dried red chilies and the bay leaves. Now, bay leaf is again not part of the traditional recipe, but I'm just adding it in there because I like the subtle flavor it adds to curries and especially rice and pilaf. Okay, my eyes are starting to water from cutting the onions. You don't need this to brown. You just kind of letting the heat act on the chilies and the bay leaves, and then add the onions. And this should cook for about 5 to 7 minutes till it starts to brown. Add salt. The aroma right now is just like incredible. I can smell hints of the mustard oil, the chicken fat, and of course browning of onions. There's nothing quite like that. The onions are nicely browned. They're almost there. At this stage, add some water. No, wait. Add a little bit of turmeric. More. Cook that out a little bit for a few seconds. And then add water. and the black sesame paste. This beautiful, beautiful black sesame paste. Mix it in nicely, maybe add a little bit of water. Let all the flavors come together nicely. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar at this stage to balance out all the flavors and spice. And then add in the chicken with all those juices, yeah. This chicken is already like half cooked because of the searing. Just want to like finish it up in this gravy. Should not take more than 5 to 7 minutes. You can add a little more water if you need to. So that's pretty much the consistency you want to leave the final curry at. That looks like it's almost there. Do a final taste test. Oh. It's got that earthy smokiness of the sesame. The chicken flavors kind of seeped into the curry. And this is definitely going to taste better tomorrow. But I think that's done. You can turn off the flame, let it rest. It's going to be amazing with rice. Sticky rice, even better if you have some. But oh my god. I think I'm going to keep digging. Thank you guys. See you soon.